Tech space is not inner space or outer space. When you join the space, maintain the pace to win the race. And the wisdom here is for you to know to trust the process in what you do. Come rain fall, come sunshine, STB day for you. Next time you...
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the STB Podcast. This is the show that brings you unfiltered gist from the boldest and the brightest builders, contributors, and people who are shaping the future of the African tech space. I am your host, Soft Tech Bro. In today's episode, we're having a very great and wonderful guest in our midst. Someone who, if he has chosen to venture into the WrestleMania sport, would have regarded him as one of the heavyweight world champions because of the number of medals he has below his belt. This is a seasoned AI engineer, a technology leader, someone who is also very vast in cloud architecture, right? He has over 20 years experience in software development, in enterprise solutions, and also AI transformation. This is somebody that has a strong focus in helping businesses to upskill their digital transformation. Today's episode, we have Mr. Uche, the lead artificial intelligence and research and development unit in one of the leading fintech across Africa. Mr. Uche, you're welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Peter. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. You're welcome, sir. Sir, today we'll be looking at AI, and AI is one buzzword that is everywhere. A lot of people have a lot of, funny thoughts about AI, that AI is this, AI is that. But we want to break off to start by saying, I want to know, what was your first interaction with AI?
Well, every programmer that's been coding for the past 10, 15, 20 years must have somehow once in their lifetime, nibbled around AI.
Yeah.
Then before it was called this generative AI, it was machine learning.
Okay.
We had TensorFlow,
Yes.
we had scikit-learn. These are like frameworks, libraries that you could use to build stuff. So there was face detection that you could build into your app, right? Yeah, so you could get to TensorFlow, create simple machine learning models, train them, classify data, and they can predict for you. So it was just those early stage use of machine learning, before 2022, where ChatGPT came out, and then AI became like the buzzword. Before then, it was called machine learning, a form of AI as well, but just lightweight stuff. Of course, we built a few of those weak AI chatbots, right, where they're like rule-based, you label the conversations where you ask questions and you already know the answer. Those were like the early use cases of AI and machine learning. So with scikit-learn, with TensorFlow from Google, we could build a few of those things as well, and create some nice models, classify with data, simple data, and it's able to predict, and then you can use it. So that's the experience so far, and that was my first interaction with AI. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So you did mention something about AI back in 2022. So is it safe for us to assume that AI is relatively new? Because,
for me, I'll say AI is not new. AI has been there for a long time, right? Even in the 80s, we've had AI. It wasn't called generative AI. Generative AI became a thing like in 2022. That's when it became very, very mainstream, when ChatGPT was launched. But before then, we've had machine learning, we've had AI, we've had autonomous robots in industries doing stuff, right? Helping people, produce things in these companies that build cars or proper manufacturing. We've had bots here and there doing a few things. We've had machine learning areas of financial predictions, stock market analysis, and performing some scientific research. So AI has been there, machine learning. What has happened is that in 2022, being able to AI that was available then was AI that you could use for scientific reasons, mathematical reasons, right? It wasn't something that you could put in the hands of an average person to interact with, right? Because it lacked emotional intelligence, it lacked understanding of how humans interact. But with the advent of generative AI, ChatGPT and OpenAI, they were able to really, fine-tune these models in a way where it now can communicate and interact with you the way humans would. So it's able to understand toxic conversations, it's able not to advise you or give you, predictions that can harm you or can be very, very toxic. So that kind of learning, when you classify intelligence, right? The whole idea of AI is to mimic human intelligence, right? So that's the core. And when you classify intelligence, you have linguistic intelligence, right? There's logical intelligence, and then there's emotional intelligence. In the beginning, we're able to handle things like linguistic intelligence. That's being able to classify see a cat in an image and say this is a cat, right? So using computer vision, those visual language models, they can do those things. Second one is logical intelligence, where AI can solve maths, can solve anything logical. It's very easy to solve all of that, right? So it was simple, but it lacked emotional intelligence, right? It's not able to tell you when you're sick, when you're saying something. You ask it to please give me the recipe to prepare a poison. It could do it for you then, right? So being able to go through that process, post-training techniques like reinforcement learning, right? With human feedback, humans were able to sit down and map and say, okay, this output, these responses are like dangerous to the humans. So it's by the time they were done with that was when the first version of ChatGPT came out, and then was able to put it in the hands of young people, teenagers, adults, be able to now interact with AI in that human-like conversational way, and then be able to get people. So AI has been there since. It just became mainstream to everyone in 2022 through generative AI.
Wow. Very awesome, sir. Thank you for that deep thought level explanation, sir. So, sir, you said you did mention that AI had like a major breakthrough with ChatGPT, and that was particularly in 2022. So, is it safe to assume that with this breakthrough, that was when a lot of potentials for businesses, came about with AI, and how can most business, really adopt AI to optimize their operations?
So, I would say businesses today are already enjoying the impact of AI. I mean, the issue is that they don't measure it, right? There is what we call shadow AI. That's, you have your employees today already using AI to do stuff, right? They use AI to search, they use AI to generate things, they transfer that knowledge back to your business, but you just don't know about it, right? And you don't measure it. Let me use an example. Me as a programmer, for example, right? In the past let's go back to the past 10 years, right? If I was building a product or trying to code out a problem and I'm stuck with an issue, I would typically go to Google to go and search, right? So I'll go to Google, I'll come through 10, 15 results, probably not get my answer, right? And then what I'll do typically is to go to the community. If I'm writing C#, I'm writing Java, I go to where the community is present, then I post my problem, right? And I hope that someone responds, maybe after 2-3 days. Sometimes it takes up to a week. Now, this was painful, right? But with generative AI today, because these models are pre-trained with so many of this data, and with the level of intelligence that they possess, when you ask that question today on ChatGPT, you're going to get instant response. So all those pain of going through Google 15 pages, going through the community, ChatGPT gives it to you in seconds, right? Companies don't measure this time savings, right? They just say, AI is, how does AI affect my business? How does it impact my ROI? You're already enjoying AI in your ROI because the time you are taking a company to build an app today, if it's taking a company 8 months to build an app in 5 years ago, right? Today, it will take that company with AI literacy and using AI tools, with the knowledge of AI today, you can build an app in less than 2 months. So those time savings, companies don't talk about it, right? And because they don't measure it. If you measure it, you see the impact of AI in your business. Secondly, data is key, right? Data is something companies have tried to figure out how to make sense of for the past couple of years. Again, I'll go back again in the past 7-8 years. The way it works then would have been you hire a business intelligence analyst, right? You hire a data scientist, and then what happens is that the guy goes to your database, is able to extract data, use ETL, extract data, transfer it, load it into a data warehouse, right? And then it's in a warehouse, and then you have to set up a BI tool like Power BI or even Excel to connect to your data warehouse, and you can begin to create those charts, graphs, insights, boxes, and whatever to make sense of your data. Also a very tedious process, takes time. ETL is a long process. Today, Gen AI thrives with unstructured data, right? When you get your unstructured data and you put it in front of an LLM today, you can interact with that data in any way you like, and you can generate amazing insights, right? That even the BI tool can even give you today. Right? And companies don't measure these things too as well, right? Because everybody in the office is in ChatGPT, they put data out there, they put it out, they get results, and they move. So companies, I would say, they've been enjoying the impact of generative AI in their business. It's changed how we work, it's changed how we do things, it's changed how we learn, how we research, how we often deliver products today, right? And in my opinion, I would say, it's just the ROI part, right? Being able to measure those things, put time into those things, put metrics and also numbers, and then you realize the amount of impact AI has had on your business.
Wow, this is huge. Wow. I think companies need to really come to, the reality of how AI really transforms their business. And a lot of companies that might not have considered this need to really adopt AI from what you said.
Absolutely.
Because really it will lead to their efficiency and being able to, put more output, And I think the production grade application should be faster built. Wow, great. All right, sir. So you did mention something about possibility of AI, likely replacing humans, because now that they're able to leverage on these services for customer related this thing. So I really want to understand. Is it also safe to say that, because AI seems to have a dual-sidedness, right? On one hand, we can see job creation. On the other hand, it seems like maybe there are likely job losses. So, I want to know your reaction to this. Will AI replace all of us?
Okay, so this question again keeps coming up every now and then. AI, we moved from a journey, right? In 2022, when generative AI became a huge thing, right? We had that fear, of course. Initially, jobs, people were afraid, you were scared. And I think it was Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, that said, just to allay the fear, he had said, Gen AI will not take your job, but the person that uses AI will take your job. So who said that quote? But that was in 2023. That statement was relevant up to that, right? Up to then, sorry. Then at some point in time, we started moving into the agentic AI era, right? Where we started seeing AI not just answer questions, but being able to perform real actions, right? It's growing massively. This is 2025, and we're already seeing huge advancements in agentic AI. And that has changed that conversation to some extent, right? So it's no longer a thing of with AI replace our jobs. You're already seeing that AI can perform those jobs today. But nevertheless, right, it's still the thing of how do you supercharge how you work with AI. AI literacy is what you really need, right? Keep on improving yourself. Keep on learning how you can use AI to automate what you do, to make your job better, to work faster, and become more relevant. Job replacement to happen. But one thing about AI is that technology, not just AI, technology generally, as technology disrupts jobs, it creates new ones. I'll give you an example. Uber is a typical example. When Uber got launched and Bolt got launched, the yellow cab taxi guys, they were worried, they were scared, wow, no job for us anymore. But what happened? Uber came in, Bolt came in, and then replaced those yellow guys, then made it more open to everybody that you and I can become drivers today and ride taxis. So it became more, the numbers increased, the opportunity became wider, everybody could play in that space as well. So technology can disrupt, but it can also create more. It's just how you see it. It's your perspective to things. People that are lazy, people that are still laid back, people that still don't think, people that are still okay in their comfort zones will remain there permanently, really. It doesn't matter whether AI can change everything, they will still be there. It's about your mentality and your mindset. What I know today is that people that are really entrepreneurial wanted to create things 4-5 years ago that couldn't create those things because of capacity, resources, capacity, and stuff like that, right? They're able to do that today with Gen AI. There are tools that can help you create, jumpstart, supercharge anything you want to build. If you want to build a website, you can prototype faster with some tools. You can market, you can design, there are things that AI can help you with today that in the past you rely heavily on humans. So if your challenge then was that you couldn't afford people, you couldn't afford to pay so many people, or you didn't have the resources to really build out these things, with what we have today in AI and the advancement today in AI, and with strong AI literacy, you can actually perform those things today and build out your products.
So, sir, you did mention about the fact that AI currently, has been used to optimize a lot of operations, right? And it's beginning to seem like, okay, yeah, AI can do a lot of these things. But if I hear you very well, you also mention and emphasize the need for a human touch in the loop. So far, with this advancement in AI and this adoption, what industry would you say have faced the most significant adoption of AI so far?
Okay, for me, I think I'll say every company, every industry, or any vertical has actually seen some sort of AI transformation, right? And you can't rule out anyone really, right? There are industries that we don't hear about so much. Healthcare, manufacturing, they're not in the mainstream, so we don't hear them very often. But in health, we've seen a lot of transformation using AI. imaging, being able to take pictures of brain tumors or cancers and passing it to an AI model that can use visual language models to really make sense of that image, give you deeper insights than you would have seen in the past, if you are trying to do this 10, 8, 9 years ago. So we've seen advancements in that area massively. Another area is manufacturing, right? We've seen predictive maintenance, so there are edge systems on this, all those machineries in those industries. And what happens is that it gathers data, it knows when it needs to be maintained, it performs those inferencing with a small language model, and it's able to predict and tell you when this machine or this device is due for servicing. So those are advancements we've seen in manufacturing, healthcare, but the ones that I can relate to mostly, right, financial services, right, where they've infused AI in their system end to combat fraud, to improve, enhance user experience, help customers discover payments on their platforms, right, and also being able to make better smart recommendations, like hyper-personalized recommendations to the customers, because they have your data and they're able to suggest to you what exactly will be good for you to buy. So it's really an amazing time to actually be alive and see those advancements happen in these sectors. Another area is media and entertainment, right? There's a whole lot of advancement in that area. You can say that 60% of content today is on the internet. You say that really AI generated. Graphics, video content, images, everything is even voice, mostly AI. So it has really augmented a lot of things for the media and entertainment space as well. Customer support, like I said, they are seeing significant transformation as well with AI, where humans are getting replaced, and these AI agents are now there to handle repetitive things, and things where they don't require humans. So I say most everybody, there's education as well, where you have AI-assisted learning, where AI is basically AI generated paper that is teaching students how to learn a few things and do so. Everywhere I really enjoy really
Awesome, sir. All right, sir. So I think from what you've said, there's some indication of the powerful adoption and usage of AI. But one question comes to mind. What would you say as per Africa's readiness or Nigeria's readiness to the adoption of AI in its operation?
So, Nigeria's readiness for AI still boils down to the country, right? Africa is a third world country, and we still struggle with a lot of things, right? Energy stagnation. Now, to play at the foundational model space like OpenAI and might be really difficult task for us here in Africa, because we not even solve domestic issues for the basic needs. So, and training this model requires huge compute that also requires huge energy requirements. You see people like OpenAI, Oracle, going ahead to this starting project that was sponsored by the president and of the states, just to ensure that they provide a lot of energy resources and infrastructure to power AI for the next generation. So Africa, yes, can play in some areas, right? You can leverage on these existing models, you can fine-tune models, you can distill bigger models into smaller models and perform wonders with it. Now it's no longer about playing at the foundational model space. Africa can play in the frontier model space, right? Where you can have a particular model trained for a specific use case, Afrocentric use cases where it knows a lot about our culture, about the things that we do, and it's able to relate, and we can use that to build solutions. Right? So we can play at that space where we are building value on top of existing large language models, and really, it's not for us to play in that space. Like come up with strong wrappers, come up with business solutions that leverage this AI, these foundational models, to really solve our inherent problems in Africa.
Awesome. That's great. Really awesome. But maybe not just only in the Nigeria context. We might want to see this in both Nigeria, Africa, and global context. How do you think AI can, really help businesses to stay competitive among their contemporaries?
Well, I think that's already happening today, right? If any way your employees or you as a company you've adopted AI in its smallest form, you're already more competitive than your counterparts that are not using AI.
Awesome.
So those time savings, like I mentioned earlier, where you save time in your research, you save time in having access to solutions to problems. Those are time savings. Time is money, right? So once you have those kind of savings and you're able to measure, you're already seeing how you're staying ahead. AI literacy is very key. I keep saying, I don't want to say it much, right? AI literacy is very key. if your company is able to adopt AI in its fullest, right, understand several tools out there, even if you can't use for yourself as a company, because still hiring skills for AI engineers is still very scarce, right? So if you're able to have that strong AI literacy within your business, right, and you're able to utilize those tools, your day-to-day work for each department, like identify your key objectives, understand and choose how you want AI to work for you, understand the right tools that you need to infuse in the right department or in the right teams, you will begin to harness those values immediately, and there's no way a competitor that is not using AI will match you, because you're going to hit the market faster, you're going to respond more to your customers will be happier, you have reduced churn rate, and your business will be happy.
Wow, this is great. I think this is going to be super knowledge for business owners, and they need to adopt AI to stay ahead of the trend. But again, there's also a fear that maybe most users or most potential business owners or adopters might have. So we just want to see, are there any dark side of AI, or are there any concerns that people should have before considering to adopt AI for their usage?
Of course, there are inherent risks around AI. So when you're building AI, in as much as it's very sweet, and you're seeing the impact massively, the innovation there is amazing, but you have to pay attention to those risks, because it can really make or mar your business. Because there are several risks around AI: data privacy, misinformation, misuse, bias, prompt injection, jailbreaking. There are a whole lot. But the two main ones that can affect the business quickly is privacy and it's misinformation. So when it comes to privacy, when people are ingesting, they bring their data and feed it into an AI system or a chatbot without reading the fine print, understanding policies and the privacy concerns around that AI tool that you're using, you might just expose your business for no reason. And just take sensitive company data and feed it into an AI model, and these companies will obviously use it to train their model at some point. And you don't want some sensitive data about your business turn up on a search results in ChatGPT for somebody in China. So you need to be careful how you bring your sensitive company data into this AI platforms. So there are ways you can mitigate against it, right? You can, set up local LLMs running in your infrastructure where you can sell it to your customers, to your employees. You can also install these local LLMs, right, to run on the laptop if you can't go the way of setting it up. You have access to it. What that has done is that you can now limit the use of these chatbots within your infrastructure, right, within your environment, and also foster AI literacy. Let them understand, the importance of not feeding sensitive company data, company report, into an external AI platform like that. So if you're able to provide them with an alternative, right, where they can use this within their own laptop or within your office environment, where they have access to tooling, they have access to that local LLM that you deploy in your infrastructure, can really help them really navigate through these things better and protect you as a business, because you need to be protected. Second one is misinformation, right? That is very, very key. It's a problem where if you feed in wrong information into your AI deployment, depending on your sector, it can be very damaging. If it's healthcare, you can misinform somebody that can take a wrong medicine and the person can die. If it's finance, you can predict wrongly and the person can lose money. So these are key areas you have to take it very, very seriously. So if you're training an AI system, it's important that you feed it in the right data. Ensure that during the area of extraction transformation, you're checking in for those errors. Ensure that you're passing the right information to reduce hallucinations and misinformation as well.
All right, so you did mention about a lot of businesses, how they can adopt AI, and truly, but it does seem like most of these businesses that have the capacity to adopt AI are usually fall under the category of large-scale enterprises, and they probably will be able to afford the knowledge and the professionals, and maybe set a budget aside to get the software tools. But again, we do know that most businesses can also fall under the category for small-scale enterprises. So how do you think most small businesses can adopt AI despite the limited resources?
So I think money should not be the first conversation to have. I think the first conversation to have is understanding what you want AI to do for your business. Identify those key objectives. So in AI transformation, there are like 5 stages in AI transformation, right? So the first is to identify those objectives, understand what AI is going to do for your business. If you don't do that, you'll be running around pursuing the wrong things and miss out on the actual thing. So the first thing is to identify key objectives, what you want AI to do for you. It can be you want to enhance your user experience for your business. It can be that you want to make access to information about your products and services faster for your customers. It can be you want to generate more insights for your business from your data that you have, your customers, your transactions. It can be anything whatsoever, and it's important that you basically identify those key objectives, right? Understand what AI is going to do for you, and then before you start, the next stage is mostly extracting data for each objective. So that data would obviously reside somewhere in your infrastructure. It can be in the cloud, it can be in your database, it can be even in paper form as well. And you need to actually extract that data first, transform it, because when you extract, it's in raw form, then you have to transform that data, make it ready for AI use, right? So again, you can't do this without having some sort of small AI experience, or AI literacy, or someone that just has taken a few courses in generative AI and understands how it works, so that you're guided and you're doing the right things. So if you're a small company, that should be the first thing. And you can achieve this thing without even having making extra investments. Right? Identify what AI is going to do for you, being able to extract data where it is present, transforming it for AI use. Then before you go into that stage where, okay, do I build an AI system from the ground up? Do I deploy an existing solution, a SaaS application somewhere that I can leverage on and do what I want to do as well? So that can be, at that point you start to discuss finances. Right? Whether AI can help you, whether you can buy a new one or you can build from scratch if you have the resources to do so. So at that point in time, once you're able to cross that hurdle, there are tools available today that you can use for free, and they have free trials to experiment. There are lightweight AI tools out there that really investigate your business and start to add real value. So if you're able to cross that hurdle, next stage is to evaluate, storyboard what you've done so far, being able to ensure that the outcome of this implementation, right, aligns with your objectives. So that's like iteration. So you have to do that. If it fails, you go back to the data part, get the right data set, transform it again, evaluate, and go back to get it right. And then you deploy and you bring to monitor. So that is key. I think for me, for small businesses, AI literacy is even more important than money. Understanding what AI is going to do for you, understanding the tools that you need that are relevant for your business to work today in some key areas, some key departments. It can be to help you write code faster. There's Cursor, there's Windsoft, these are tools you could use to write code, supercharge your software team with AI. There is, Replit, there is Lovable, that help your product team to, prototype ideas and stuff like that. So these are tools that will help you cut the journey short for your business. And so money is not the first condition, it's really understanding what AI is going to do for you and how to implement it. Then above all, pay attention to those risks because they can mar your business as well.
Awesome. Wow, beautiful. So I think this really sounds amazing. And I can believe that, for most business owners out there, if you're a business owner, you heard it from the AI expert. He just told us right now that, road clear, no police, So money is not an issue, because for most business owners, I'm sure one of the deterrents for them might have been that, they don't have the budget or, the manpower skill to adopt AI. So clearly we can see that AI actually is here and we have to, leverage on that to optimize our business. So just quickly, so I want to know, final notes before wrapping up. What scares you most about the future of AI?
That question is also another interesting one. And honestly, if you ask Sam Altman of OpenAI this question today, I'm not sure he has an answer. Because everybody's currently focused on innovation. We're just building, innovating around this, pushing the boundaries of these AI models to be faster, to be better, to be smarter, to be more intelligent. So it's premature to start to know what AI or the space will look like in the next 5 to 10 years. We're just taking it one day at a time. Because whatever you know today in AI, trust me, in the next few days it's going to change. There's a new model that's out there, breaking new benchmarks, pushing those barriers. There are agents that have been deployed to perform fantastic things. Just yesterday, OpenAI launched Codex, which is their AI agent for code. You can have access to your repositories and can perform magic with your repositories. Last week, Google also launched Alpha Evolve. It's also similar to what OpenAI is doing with their Codex agent. It looks like all the big AI model providers are focused on transforming the AI coding space massively, the programming space, being able to make sure that programmers find it easier. You can argue that they're trying to replace programmers, but it's also supercharging how we do our work and make us work faster, better. So I think my advice or maybe final take to everyone, businesses, small, medium, large scale individuals who just be, start small, understand AI literacy is very key. Go and learn. There are 3 courses you can take today. Understand what AI even is, generative AI, how it impacts what you do today, how you work, how you learn, you need to master those things very well. Understand those risks, right? That can also affect what you're doing. And start small, right? Start with the small stuff. Automate those repetitive things that you do day in, day out with AI. Understand how you can augment these things with AI agents here and there. And just take it one day at a time. Then obviously you stand out more than your peers, and success will be your goal eventually. Cheers.
Awesome, sir. Awesome. So just to close out, we just have like 4 teaser questions to close out on this. All right, sir. So on the final note, we're closing now. So we just want to close out with these 4 teaser questions. So if you're asked to pick one between these, do you prefer open source or closed source?
Generally, open source is winning the race. I would say they've challenged the closed source companies for a very long time. OpenAI was taking the forefront. They were leading the conversations. They were doing all of that. DeepSeek came out earlier this year and obviously disrupted that space. Brought out a groundbreaking model that broke all the benchmarks for a fraction of the cost. That challenged the closed source guys too. It became priceable. So I would say open source is better really for innovation, right? People can put on that model, build on top of it, scale it better, and do groundbreaking things. So if I'm to choose, I would choose open source approaches to building AI models and all of that. Yeah.
Awesome. You just even mentioned before I asked. I was going to ask between ChatGPT versus DeepSeek, but obviously you mentioned.
Yes, but that's a different question, right? Because while DeepSeek is a fantastic model, I have issues around privacy. It's no longer about intelligence for me when it comes to DeepSeek and ChatGPT. I focus more on the privacy concerns. What does the privacy policy say about how they interact with my data? Do I feel safe using these chatbots? So I think if you're asking me ChatGPT versus DeepSeek in the chatbot space, I would pick ChatGPT. But if you're asking me open source versus closed source in building innovative AI solutions, I would pick open source.
Okay, sir. So let's narrow it down to text space in terms of AI. So would you choose Grok or Gemini?
I'll pick Gemini any day over Grok because Grok, owned by Elon Musk, their privacy policy is so clear. They're saying any data you bring onto Grok will be used for model retraining. So that's really a red flag for me. So I will obviously pick a Gemini over a Grok. That's because of privacy. And also Gemini is a better model anyways. Their 2.5 Pro model is groundbreaking and beats almost all of these other models in all the benchmarks. So I'll pick a Gemini model anytime again.
All right. So now more about technology advancement. So would you say you prefer the US or the Asia?
Interesting question. Well, I'm really not a fan of countries. I'm mostly for the country that has the best technology that can power what I want to build and what I want to do. So it's not about the country, it's about the product out of that country and the technology and intelligence that the models they provide. Which one serves me better? That's how I'll basically analyze them.
Oh, awesome, sir. So, sir, just a final question now. Where would you like to see AI being deployed in Nigeria? Healthcare? Is it the military? Is it finance? Where's the one point you want to see AI solutions being deployed?
Honestly, I think as a third world country, Nigeria, I think we need AI everywhere, honestly speaking. Our police for sure, military, maybe not so military focused like that, but healthcare, education, manufacturing, these are the areas that can help our GDP, our business. We can deploy autonomous robots to work in our industries, for example. We can become a producing country, right? It can augment education as well. We need AI-assisted learning, especially in remote schools where teachers are scarce like that. So we need AI in those critical places as a third world country that can help us grow better and make better decisions, right? So for me, I'll focus on those areas: manufacturing, education, and healthcare as well. Because our doctors also need assistance massively with AI.
Wow. I just hope someone out there in government is hearing this, right, to see how AI can be deployed to solve, not just only in the businesses, but also in government. So far, sir, is there any final thoughts before we close out?
I think my final thought would be AI literacy. I keep saying that over and over again, right? People should get informed. We don't understand. We're still behind in Africa compared to what other guys are doing externally. So AI literacy is very key. Go and learn AI. Honestly, understand how AI can supercharge what you do. Understand how the tools that you can rely on today to make your work faster, to make your life better, and stay relevant in what you do. As a small business, start small, identify those key objectives, identify the data where they are, extract them, transform them, take it one at a time, right? And achieve those small leaps and small goals. Eventually, you'll get to your destination.
Awesome. All right, guys, you've heard from the horse's mouth, one of the leading voices of AI in the African tech space. He has told us, Mr. Uche Okpagu, that you should learn AI, adopt AI as a business owner. It doesn't matter if you're a large-scale enterprise, you're a small, medium enterprise, adopt AI. AI literacy, as AI is here to stay, and AI literacy is also very important. Don't forget to follow across all our social media platforms at softtechbro_ng, and also check out the links being displayed on the screen to follow our guest speaker. Until next time, bye-bye for now.
Tech space is not inner space or outer space. When enjoying the space, maintain the pace to win the race. And the wisdom here is for you to know to trust the process in what you do. Come rain fall, come sunshine, STB day for you. The next time you